Hello everyone, this is going to be a very different video for my channel. Right now I'm thinking I'm doing a video on what I expect the next Witcher game, The Witcher 4 or whatever you want to call it, is going to be. I want to give you some theories and what I think about what's happened in this game so far and what because of this game may affect what we'll see in The Witcher 4. But before I start with all my theories and everything, I may have to explain a few things before I go, like things on what CD Projekt Red is doing and what that means for The Witcher 4 right now as of this moment. Okay, so basically, everyone who loves The Witcher 3 and watches YouTube, you should know based off these YouTube channels that report news, gaming news, and all that stuff. They reported something about CD Projekt Red. A specific video I'm talking about, which is called it's in the form of a question, The Witcher Done For, and then The No. So the YouTube channel I'm talking about is The No. They reported about a month ago that CD Projekt Red said their unannounced IP that they're working on is not another Witcher game. Now, even though that is what they said, and they had a screenshot showing the what do you call it, the actual sources of where they found that, what I think is that's a hint on CD Projekt Red's part. What I mean by this is like, okay, so what they said was The Witcher, they're not working on another Witcher. The new IP, that unannounced IP name that they're working on, is not The Witcher. But I think it has something to do with a sequel to this game. They didn't clarify that. Here's why I think so. As you know, there are many professions in this game, the world of The Witcher 3. Just to name a few, there's a witcher, obviously. There's a mage slash witch or whatever. There's the druid, people like Hermione and stuff like that. People like that. And then there are herbalists, and there's a lot other different type of professions in this game. Now, why am I mentioning this, you ask? Well, because the main ones I'm actually want to talk about is the Witcher and the Mage and all those stuff. So if they said one thing about they're not making another Witcher game, it could be set in this world. However, it could also be like a mage or probably someone like Ciri, someone who knows how to wield a sword, but also like magic. So they probably are straying away from Witchers, but Witchers will be an existing topic in this new game. However, they don't want it to be Witchers anymore as the main topic of this game. So I'm thinking probably they could switch it up and probably go to different stuff like mages. I'm not gonna say druids or anything like that because that's not. But anyway, I wanted to talk about other things concerning the next game. I'm not talking about any other YouTube channels now and stuff like that. So the first very topic that everyone should have noticed, if you didn't notice, there's only one reason why you wouldn't have noticed, and it's because you played through the story without like fast traveling or without saving and then coming back. You just played straight through it and you only saw a few of these parts, and if you didn't see the very right part, you wouldn't have known this was the person. So what I'm talking about is Dandelion. The person who is narrating this entire game is Dandelion. Now, I don't think that's a coincidence at all. Here's why. There's a part in the loading screen when Dandelion actually mentions that he's the one talking. He says something like, I'm sorry I don't have the clip of it right now, but I would have included it. But he mentions how the bard Dandelion, is going to be saved by Ciri or something like that, was rescued by Geralt or something. So if you like fast traveled after you did the quest to rescue him or something like that, and didn't go on with any of the rest of the story, or instead you chose to save the game and then come back at a later date, which means the loaded game that you're loading up would play that cutscene. By cutscene I mean the cutscenes that happen during the loading screens. That would be played. So yes, it's Dandelion. There's another thing that's very weird about this. So the reason why I said you would not know that it's Dandelion at all, unless you completely skip that scene. You'll only know if you saw that very part, was because Dan when that the person who's talking in those loading screen things, they sound very old. Like I'm talking like seriously old, deep voice. You know how Dandelion does not have that deep voice. He sounds like I don't know how to explain it, but he doesn't, his voice isn't that deep, right? So you would never know that was Dandelion talking. So what I want to say about this section is that I think that Dandelion is telling the story to a child, or probably to the protagonist of the next game. So who would that be? That's my question. If you have any ideas, like put it in the comment section down below, because I want to know who could Dandelion actually be telling this story to. It could very well be that he's just telling this story to a whole tavern full of people, but I think he's telling it to someone's child. Whether or not it may be no. Okay, so I just said something stupid. It can't be Geralt's child because he's a witcher, he's infertile. So that knocks it out. It could be Dandelion's child, his own child. But then again, it doesn't mean that the person will be the protagonist of the story. But he is telling this story to someone. And I think it's going to. This is a big hint into what is going to be in the next Witcher game. That's what I want to talk about. So, like, other things, sorry that I'm just thinking a little bit. Um, their CD Projekt Red, before the game came out, they released like some news to like new YouTube news gaming channels and stuff like that about some of the quests that we do and interactions that we choose will be affected in The Witcher 4. And what these news channels were reporting was that they are thinking about the next Witcher game before this one even came out, and how it's so weird to think how far they thought ahead. So it's weird. So while making this game, they thought about what things could happen. And people want, I'm trying to connect two things. Remember that, and then there's the one bad ending of this game where Siri dies, right? I didn't get that bad ending, but from what I heard, there's an ending like that. So people also want Siri to be the main protagonist of the next game. And based on these connections of what CD Projekt Red said, that the actions of this game affect the next game, there's no possible way that Siri will ever be the protagonist of the next game. Because I never played any of the other Witcher games, but the way these branching story paths work, it worked like you can start off a game with any one of these endings you had from The Witcher 3. So if you by some chance had the ending where Ciri died, there's no way you could start off the Witcher 4 in any type of way. Which means even if you didn't choose the path that Ciri died, there's no way that you could ever play as Ciri because someone else could have chose that path. Which means you will never be playing as Ciri. As much as I want to, because she's a very fast fighter, she's all that. I love her over Geralt. Like playing as Ciri, then going back to Geralt is the worst feeling in the world. That's what I think. So yeah, so let's stay on this topic about branching stories and who we could see in the next thing. Obviously, we'll be seeing Lambert, people like this. At the end of the story, Lambert and that other guy whose name eludes me, they ventured off to a different land. They said they're going to travel. They're not staying at Kaer So we're gonna see Lambert definitely. Based off of this Toussaint stuff, I'm sure this is very canon, Toussaint and all that stuff. So I'm hoping we'll see Regis because, as you know, at the end of Blood and Wine DLC, Regis killed what's his name, Dettlaff, right? And there's a pact between vampires. Okay, let me explain this story. Basically, vampires, the only way a vampire can truly die completely is if, you know, like I think witches could do it too if they do it the right way. No, well, I don't think so. Let me not put that in your heads. Well, what they said was the only way vampires could truly die in this world is by another vampire. So basically, what that means is you will never be able to truly kill a vampire, and that's what and so because of that, um, all the vampires made a pact that they will never fight each other and hurt them or kill them because they also can't heal their wounds made from other vampires or stuff like that, I think. But the main thing I know is if you're a vampire and you kill another vampire, they're dead. Regis killed Dettlaff, and now all the lesser vampires are coming after Regis. They're attacking him. Regis broke the pact, and there's an unsaid thing that if you run away, that's what Regis said, if you move to a different place where people out of sight, out of mind. So his idea was that there's an unsaid rule, out of sight, out of mind. So he's moving into over to a different land so these vampires don't attack him and he isn't forced to kill any more of them. So that is means that we should be running into Regis. But the thing is, we're not playing as Geralt in The Witcher 4. So even if we do run into Regis, it'll be like a us thing. We'll know who he is, but the person wouldn't. The person who the character we're playing as wouldn't. But we'll still run into him. We'll still have all these good encounters and stuff like that. So these are another thing I want to know is what role is the Elder Blood playing? I finished this main game a while ago. I'm doing Death March again, so I'm not caught up on the story again. Like I know I went through the entire story and I know everything, but like I forgot some stuff. So I don't know if when Ciri did whatever she did, if the Elder Blood fight for the Elder Blood is over. If it isn't, then we know there's some stuff that's gonna be happening. People are gonna be looking for the Elder Blood. If based on the other two storylines, if Ciri's alive, then then what? Then she may have a child. She's not a witcher, so she's fertile, or is she fertile? I think she is. So she may have a child. It could be with Dandelion. That could be who Dandelion is telling this story to. I don't even know. So like I'm just like giving all y'all my ideas and stuff. I don't even know what I'm saying, but I want to hear what y'all say in the comment section and stuff like that. This is very interesting to me. So yeah, that's what I think about this. Um I don't know. Like, who else are we gonna probably see? But the thing is, I don't know since we're not playing as Geralt. Even though the CD Projekt Red said outcomes we chose in this will happen in the next one, but they also said they're not using Geralt anymore. This is the end of his tale. So I don't know. Why would the actions Geralt have affect the next game if the main character isn't Geralt? Unless like um whole cities were affected or something like that, where like you know how the witch hunters started killing everyone after there were no vampires in Novigrad left to hunt. I mean, no mages in Novigrad left to hunt. How the witch hunters just took it upon themselves to start killing innocent people that they suspected to be things. So probably that's what they meant. Choices like that that affect the actual world or something like that would show up in the next game. Probably people too, but it would be pointless if we're not playing as Geralt. Now this is off of the topic of story driven parts. Now I want to know about the gameplay. Now everyone on my channel, whoever knows me, knows that I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. Yes, I like the combat in this, but I love the combat in Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is also essentially a RPG and stuff like that, and I want faster paced combat, not like the crazy combos that Kingdom Hearts is known for and stuff like that, but some better combat, like how Ciri was fast paced and more agile. I want more verticality, like jumping better, being able to move Geralt's body, not even Geralt, the next protagonist's body better. Because as we know, like, if it's not gonna be Witcher, it could be like a mage that knows how to use a sword. We could start putting spells on our swords instead of runes. So like, it would have been cool if they, in this game, we put Igni on our sword and have a fire sword and cause fire damage with our sword, or put Ard on our sword, which made it sharper, and Ard, since it's telekinetic, could give bleeding damage or stuff like that, and stuff like that. Like, that would have been really cool. So like, I want like faster paced combat. Like, these Witchers are kind of weak in my opinion, because their training is only to give them heightened senses, and they learned how to wield the lowest level type magic. I want someone who could wield higher type level magic. Someone who could level up their magic into different higher forms, like crazy magic spells and stuff like that. I don't know. I think we'll be put back into the Witcher world, but we won't be as a Witcher. So the game's name will not be Witcher 4, since they're done with Witchers. Witchers will still be a part of this world, but like I said earlier, there are different professions in this world. And by world I mean the world of the Witcher, which may not even be called the world of the Witcher anymore. It will be called like the world of whatever this place is, but it's not like Novigrad or Velen. These are only areas for this game. And like, I want to see how this game, I'm just so hyped for this game. There hasn't been a game that interests me like this since Kingdom Hearts and Resident Evil 4 and stuff like that. And I'm so happy that I finally found a game and stuff like that I could talk about, give my theories. I haven't joined any social sites that have posts and stuff about theories and stuff for Witcher 3, but probably someone could tell me some of the ongoing theories that people have came up with so far for this game. And as we know, like, the recent news that has been coming out since Blood and Wine DLC came out is like very it's like not encouraging. It doesn't encourage me to go out of my way to talk about the next game of the series. The news that we've seen recently has been putting me down, because like, since this DLC came out, CD Projekt Red came out telling people that they're not even working on the sequel to this game, and how the unannounced IP, the new IP they're working on, isn't even going to be this type of game or anything. It's just like a new game. Probably it's not even a new game in the sense. It's like a new IP, meaning that it cannot use the name The Witcher, mainly because we will not be using a Witcher to play as. It will be some other profession in this world, but how would it sound if you're playing as a mage, but the name is The Witcher 4? Like, that would be so confusing. So they'll have to find a way. Like, I don't know what this whole world is called. Like, I'm gonna just refer to it as Velen. So the world of Velen, probably that's gonna be like the subtitle of the name of the game. Like, let's just say mage, as since we're talking about the professions here. Mage, world of Velen, something like that. It'll have to be a title like that, letting us know like it's set in the same world, but we're not as the same profession. And this could literally come about as a new type of series, that they have multiple games as one profession, then go into different multiple games as another profession. So we may see 3 games for this profession that they're working on right now, and then after that we may see some more games of a different profession, but all set in this Velen world that I'm talking about. So let me know if this makes sense. I'm sorry this video was so long. I'm not gonna separate this video because I want my entire point in one video, because who knows, people may want to watch one video. You may not want to go and watch other videos. So subscribe to my channel if you want to hear more about this. Thanks for watching.